3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And I'm basically gonna take y'all inside, take y'all through the process of me securing the unit, how much it is a month, how much I'm estimated to make, all that kind of great stuff. Record myself today, so y'all don't judge me, but it has a full 2-car garage, and we are going to head inside. So basically, it's a 3-bedroom house, like I was saying. So this is like the foyer area. Take you through, walk through. Now we are in. So it has a cute little office set up that I put some stuff in. This is one of the bedrooms downstairs. It also goes outside to the patio. So I did put like twin beds just so that when people are coming in to visit, you know, sometimes people don't want to be in the bed together, blah, blah, blah. Closet. On to the second bedroom. So both of these rooms are a pretty good size. They also have great full-size closets for anybody that decides to be more of a long-term renter, which actually does happen with Airbnb. I have had a few people that were nurses moving here and their home won't be ready for the next few months, whatever the case may be. So this is the bathroom. And hi y'all. So this is the downstairs. So we're gonna go upstairs now. And this is the upstairs. Super spacious, bunch of natural lighting. So I added this little chill area with the bean bags and the hookah. It's a vibe. Also added some games. I think it's good to have games with the Airbnb. When I've actually stayed at Airbnbs myself, we play like Uno cards, stuff like that. So I think that's also a great add. And overall, it's a very spacious space. Just have my pictures up, table. This is the kitchen. Then we're gonna go into the master. Right here is half bath, washroom. And this is the master bedroom. Also super spacious, cute. We have our TV hung up. Really love the master and the lighting for it. In the master bathroom, it's a vibe. I added, you know, a little extra if somebody wants to come, take a little bubble bath. Very good size closet, all that kind of great stuff. So overall, really, really love this unit. I'm super excited about what it is to come with it because I know it's going to be a great renter, which is always super exciting in general because the main thing you want to do is be booked and busy. Hey you guys, so I'm back. I went ahead and I gave you guys a tour of my new Airbnb, which I'm super excited about. This is actually a house, so this is my first time doing a house. My other 3 units were actually apartments. 2 of those units were in the same complex, and then I had one on the other side of town. So I just want to come through, let y'all know I have successfully, as of August, so I only have 2 more months left on my other 2 leases, I will have successfully completed a 1-year lease on 3 different units. And during this entire time, I'm so proud to say that I made my rent every month. I did not have to struggle to pay it. And I also was able to use this as residual income to pay my own personal expenses. So since I started doing Airbnb a year ago, I've been able to pay my own personal rent and my car note. When I first started, I actually had 2 vehicles. So I was able to pay my rent and the 2 vehicles notes per month. Then fast forward to now, I sold one of my cars back to the dealership, and now I have been able to successfully pay my $1,800 rent plus the rent payment on my car, which is like $1,100. So that's $2,900 a month, almost $3,000 alone just on, you know, my 2 biggest bills. Airbnb has been paying for everything. I have not personally came out for a whole year. So I'm super happy that I've been able to do that because I don't have to worry about taking out of any other funds from my other businesses because Airbnb has been paying for it. So I want to give y'all the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that I went through with this process. It was very hard in the beginning for me to actually get a unit because when it comes to renting apartments, you have 2 options. So you can go the corporate leasing option, which is the one that I suggest, because when you go, you're actually putting that unit under your business name. They require you to have an LLC, an EIN number, and you must have a DUNS number. Anytime you want to do a corporate lease for an apartment unit, you must have those 3 things so that you can get approved. And you have to actually have business credit built out. And I didn't know that in the beginning. I thought as long as I had those things, I could just apply and they would approve me. But they actually do check your business credit score. Most of the time it's Experian. If you don't have that, they can deny you. Some places, which is what ended up happening with me, I asked them, hey, can I pay an additional deposit or a little bit more just because my business credit isn't established completely? They do require you to have 2 years. I was a few months away from the 2 years, so I was like, okay, you know what? I really want to do this. Let me pay an additional deposit. So that's what I did to get my first unit. And then after that, I was successfully able to get 3 apartments under corporate leasing within 90 days by using this process. So when you go in, you're not necessarily saying Airbnb. You're just letting them know, hey, I want to get a unit or 2 for my company, for my employees, so that, you know, I have people traveling in and out and they're going to be coming in, and I just want to get that for my employees. That's basically how you present it to them, just so that there's no issues. A lot of people have burnt the Airbnb name when it comes to doing corporate leasing, so that is a way that you can kind of get around those issues. I can say I've had units in apartments that were okay with Airbnb, and I've also had units in apartments that were not. And I'm going to let you guys know about my experience with both. So your first option is corporate leasing. Your second option is going to be renting under your actual name. So to me, that's more of a risky option that I don't really advise people to do when it comes to the apartment side, because if anything happens, you're not able to make the rent, you have to close down, you know, the apartment has issues with you, that can be an eviction or rent debt that actually goes on your credit. And remember, we want to avoid those type of issues as much as possible. At least if it's under your business, if that happens, it's not on your personal credit, it's just on your business credit. So you do have another option to just do it under personal, but you also have to realize that if you're doing it under personal, you're presenting it like, hey, I'm getting this for myself, not for it to be for multiple people coming in and out. So that's something else that you have to deal with. So when it comes to the apartments tripping, I'm gonna let y'all know, I've had problems to where the biggest problem that I think anybody can have is 2 things. Number 1, baby, you gotta have your check-in information down pat. And no matter how much you have it together, people won't read, or they misunderstand, or they just, you know, need direction. So the biggest thing I wish I would have done in the beginning that I didn't do was just make a damn check-in video. When I made that check-in video, things went way smoother. Anytime somebody signed up with my Airbnb, they had a booking. They have it set up to where you can send an automated message with all the check-in information, but I took it a step further. On the day of their check-in that morning, I would just text over the video, hey, this is your check-in video, everything you need is here. If you have any problems, you know, just let me know. That made the process so much smoother, because you'll be surprised how many people will be like, oh, I don't see the box to enter the code to get in the gate, or what's the gate code, or how do I get in the unit, you know, how do I access it, where do I park? People will not listen to your parking instructions. They'll literally park where they want to and then be upset if their vehicle gets towed. So another issue that I had was they had these parking tags, so I ended up having to get an actual parking garage for the 2 units that I had in the same complex. Because of the parking issue, there was not a lot of visitors parking available. That's something that's really important. Make sure they have open parking or a good amount of visitors parking available, because if not, baby, just go ahead and get you a garage if it's available, or a covered parking spot, because that parking stuff will be issues. They're going to contact you about being towed. I've had people go in the office because their vehicle was towed, saying my car got towed from the Airbnb, saying, oh, I'm trying to go to the gym for my Airbnb I just booked. Hey, what's the gate code? How do I get in so I can go to the Airbnb? Like, there's so many things that can come up with the apartment that you want to avoid all that stuff by simply just sending them that check-in video, letting them know, hey, this is what you need to do. If you have problems, contact me directly. You know, let's try to keep this between us, keep the office out of it as much as possible. So that's a big thing. That was an issue for me. The second big thing that anybody, me personally and my Airbnbs and everybody I know that got on the Airbnb train when it first started, the cleaning company. I can go on and on problems that I've had with the cleaning company. Like, I had one time the people came, there was no sheets on the bed. I've had issues to where they did not provide everything, or it wasn't a full cleaning, and then, you know, there's a back and forth because when it's not clean and people complain, Airbnb is on the renter side a lot of times, most of the time, unless you have proof. So you have to come with your proof. That's super important. So there have been times where I had to do a partial or full refund just because of the cleaning company, because obviously I'm not the one that cleaned it. So having a solid cleaning company, it is imperative. That can either make or break your listing. You could have a possibility of making $3,000 to $5,000 a month off your listing, but if the cleaning is not right, you're going to keep losing money each booking, whether it's the full amount or partially, because people are complaining about the cleanliness of the unit. So that is something else that's super important. So another thing is maintenance with the apartment. Sometimes stuff breaks. The AC doesn't work right. One time, actually, before I just moved off my last unit, they had a leak upstairs, and it literally took them 2 weeks to come to my unit and fix it. And it had gotten like warped on the molding, the crown molding, and it was like brown, and it kind of looked like it was starting to mold. And I'm constantly contacting them about this. I can't have a booking because I can't have people check in and then they see this, because they're automatically going to have a problem. So I've had a lot of issues on the apartment side with that, as far as people checking in, parking, cleaning issues, and just the complex not keeping up with maintenance. So that's honestly why I decided to get out of apartments. So all of my leases are going to be up June, July, and August. One of them already ended. My other two are about to come up. And basically what I'm doing is I'm condensing my 3 apartments into a 3-bedroom house. I've already got the 3-bedroom house up and running, and I've just been slowly converting different decor stuff and stuff like that from the other 2 units to go into the house, so that once everything is done, whatever I have left over, I'm selling on Facebook Marketplace to get rid of, and then, or I might keep it in a storage if I decide to do another house. But I decided to condense everything in one, because even though I had 2 units together, it's hectic keeping up with 3 listings, different people contacting you, different issues that may arise. Don't get me wrong, the money is good, but I probably should have had a property manager, and I managed everything myself. But I did good. Your girl made like $30K last month. Not last month. $30K last year off of Airbnb, which I think is very great as far as residuals. Like I said, it just paid my personal bills. So let's get into the Airbnb problems, the things that they don't tell you. Things that they don't tell you is maintenance. The maintenance people will tell on you if you're illegally doing Airbnb somewhere. It's up to you to decide on how you want to do that. Another thing that they don't tell you is the startup costs. Can you do Airbnb strictly off of business credit? Don't get me wrong. All of my cleaning supplies, or just supplies that I needed as far as toilet paper, towels, trash bags, stuff like that, I did get on Uline using my business credit. I also use my business credit cards to purchase different things on Amazon. I got a lot of my linens and stuff like that on Amazon. As far as the furniture, if you are able to build your business credit, you can get an Amazon business credit account, or you can also do Wayfair and try to get your furniture on there. That way you save as much as you can from your pocket. But when it comes to those deposits, whether it's an apartment or a house, that comes out of your hands, cash money. And most of the time it honestly have to be cash money, because they either want a money order or a certified check, which is something you can't really do with a credit card. So you have to be mindful starting out. Minimally, in my opinion, you need at least $3,000, $5,000 on the higher end to get started with the Airbnb, whether it's a house or an apartment. The more bedrooms you got, the more money it's going to take. I had 3 1-bedrooms, and I never had a problem with getting a booking, because one person, 2 or 3, always need somewhere to stay. I had nurses booking. I had people who booked that were moving to the city and they were waiting on their homes to be built out. So you have to be aware that you're going to have to come out of money on this. It's not just going to be everything is used on your credit or business credit. You have to have some liquid cash available. Second thing is, baby, this ain't no you going to get in and then you're rich or you can quit your job. One Airbnb, the income from one Airbnb, if it's a 1-bedroom or depending on how many bedrooms it is, will pretty much pay your rent and maybe, you know, another something else that's smaller. But you're not gonna get one Airbnb and that's gonna pay your rent, it's gonna pay your car note, it's gonna pay all your bills and give you some money left over to live your best life. It doesn't work like that. I know people put that out there, but that's not how it works. The reason that people are able to have Airbnbs and it supplement their income and their lifestyle is because they have multiples. You can't just get one and jump off and you rich. Another thing too is it take money to start each one. So if you only have $3,000 to $5,000 to get started, you're gonna have to build up your income from your Airbnb, your job, or wherever else you get the money from to get the money to start another one. It's not like you're gonna be able to do them back to back like I was, unless you already have that money set aside, which is basically what I ended up doing. And I did make all my money back, thankfully. So I just want y'all to be aware that it's a lot of stuff that comes into this. If you get too many, you get overwhelmed between the cleanings, following up. You do have to restock stuff. You got to make sure all your stuff is together. So in business, Airbnb is residual, but you still have to be involved with this. Any business you start, in the beginning, you have to be involved unless you can afford to hire somebody to do everything for you. And of course, that costs money. So that's pretty much my journey on how I got started with Airbnb. On the apartment side with the corporate leasing, or if you want to do it with it under your personal name. Now I have decided to get a 3-bedroom home. This is more on the personal side, but the good thing about a home is if I decide I can't afford it anymore, I can give the landlord the keys back, let them know, hey, I can't afford this anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and move out. I understand I'm going to lose my deposit, but I don't have to worry about having an eviction on my credit because landlords are pretty understanding as long as you're being forthcoming with them. So that is my experience with Airbnb. This is just part 1. Part 2, I'm going to take y'all through the process of actually getting photos done, setting everything up, and actually setting up your account on Airbnb, the things that you need to put on there to make sure that they attract people so that you get bookings fast. This is my 4th Airbnb, and within the first few days of posting each one, I've been able to get bookings that same weekend or during that week. So I have some experience in what I'm doing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you again for hanging with me here at Rose Credit Repair. And don't forget, like, subscribe, comment below. If you have any credit questions, I'm going to be answering them myself in the comments. So you know what to do. Until next time.